morning, class, and welcome back to the Nerd Academy Podcast. Hosted by our headmaster, Jared Bachman Stubbs, you can find all of us here at the Nerd Academy Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com. Our shows, the Nerd Academy Podcast, Knights of the Nerd Republic, and Campus Life are released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget, check out our Patreon, where every donation helps to keep the lights on.
Good morning, class, and welcome back to the Nerd Academy Podcast. I am your host and headmaster, Jared Bachman Stubbs, and on the show today, we have Black Leader Travis Grossman. Ooh, that one hurt my ears. That was a loud one.
Watch out for the audio.
Yeah. And we have the consular, Alexis Capel.
Hi, I won't be as annoying with my intro, so... Okay.
I take offense to that.
Yeah. Travis, how do you feel knowing that you cracking a can is inexplicably more annoying than Cardi B noises?
I'm pretty attacked. I'm pretty attacked by that.
You feel attacked by this? You feel attacked by this?
Yeah.
We have a nice chunk of news for you guys this week. Surprisingly, a decent amount of gaming news. And so it's mostly gaming news, and then
It's like gaming news, small stories, more gaming news.
yeah, basically.
And one of them is like a story from the bigger story, but we're covering the bigger story later.
Yeah. So up top, we're gonna close out with talking about all of the big PlayStation 5 stuff from last week that we're gonna round out the show with. But up top, we are jumping right into Spider-Man Miles Morales. Very, very excited for this. So up top, we're just gonna clarify. This is not an expansion pack for Spider-Man PS4 once it gets ported to the PS5. Nor is this the sequel to Spider-Man. It is a spin-off starring Miles that I guess is supposed to keep our appetites wet in the meantime.
The thing I saw compared to was Uncharted Lost Legacy, which follows a couple of the side characters from Uncharted.
Yeah.
Same style as that. And I imagine like this game will be taking place either during or immediately after the DLC for Spider-Man. Yeah.
I think that's right. Now, I've seen a lot of people calling attention to one or two reasons why Peter might be absent. One of which is that either they think he is going to end up being in the Avengers game, and that whatever's going on here requires him to piss off and go help out the Avengers on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. Or this version of Spider-Man appeared in an event in the comics recently called Spider-Geddon, which was basically a sequel to the comic book version of
Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. So... and there's actually a scene, and I haven't read Spider-Geddon yet, actually. I'm going to see if it's in trades at some point soon, because I really want to read that. But there's actually a scene where PS4 Spider-Man is hanging out and talking with Superior. So my faves in one panel together, having a powwow. So we're going to jump into this Polygon article here. Spider-Man Miles Morales is a standalone game and the next adventure in Marvel's Spider-Man universe. Developer Insomniac Games said Friday morning in an attempt to dispel confusion over the nature of the PlayStation 5 title revealed during Thursday's Future of Gaming event. We will reveal more, said Insomniac, at a future date. This goes hand in hand with what they put on Twitter, which hilariously got contradicted by some asshole on Twitter who didn't recognize that it was coming directly from the developers, which is the funniest thing ever. So yeah, Lexi and I had this conversation off the air. Surely they're not killing off Peter.
I would die.
They set too much up with Harry. in the verse 1.
Both Osborns and Venom.
Right, yeah.
Like, surely we're not ready to do that, which I think is also crazy that, like, we've gotten to this point with Miles as a character where, like, we're not basing the whole concept of Miles Morales operating only after Peter Parker is dead. Which is just crazy to me. You know, like it's almost like doing a version of Batman where Thomas and Martha Wayne are still alive. Where, like, it's granted that's not so much. Peter dying isn't as much of a motivating force for that as it is for Bruce, but still, like, it's just so weird to me that Miles exists because Peter leaves a vacuum, and I love this idea that we get to see Miles get, like, a proper mentorship from Peter.
Which I love.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but what if Peter's out looking for Harry?
That might be it.
Because, like,
that could easily be it.
You know, they think he's on a trip to Europe. Or do they know he's sick?
He finds out.
Yeah.
He finds out he's sick.
Yeah, because whenever you are, like, snooping around Norman's apartment.
Snooping and duping. I haven't played the game in a while. I haven't played the game in a while. I don't remember.
But yeah, this is very excited for this. They've been very tight-lipped as to, like, who the villains are going to be. I stand corrected. I was poorly informed and have said now, I think on the record on the show before, that I didn't think that the Venom Blast and invisibility was something Miles could do from the comics. In fact, it is something he can do in the comics, and I'm just an idiot. And found that out recently. So I can hear the Marvel version of Connor calling me a fucking casual.
And I'm proud of you for admitting it on air.
Yes. I don't know everything, just a lot.
Most of it.
I know most of it.
Just almost all of it.
I've forgotten more than I know. I'm very excited for this. I wonder if they're gonna do, like, you know, obviously Peter's still alive. I'm curious if they're gonna do, like, the tried and true Miles first go about as Spider-Man, and we're gonna see him going toe to toe with the Prowler and do the whole Aaron Davis uncle thing here, which I'd love. Especially, I would love to see the Prowler in the aesthetic of these games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the aesthetic of these games. This game looks like it's chef's kiss.
It's gonna be so good.
So good.
So good.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I
yelled in front of my coworker. So, like, I was on the unload line, and the stream had started. So I just let it play on I had Raycons in, right? Not sponsored. But I use
but
my
if
Raycons.
you'd like.
Yeah.
Use anyone else's code because they're well worth it, in my opinion.
That was the most, like, holding the beer can label towards the camera.
Yeah.
Like, with my Raycons. Wink. Ding.
We don't have a code, but use someone else's. So, like, I had the stream playing, and I had, I'm running around doing stuff. And after, they announced GTA 5 for the 17,000th time,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see some real shit. Let's do this. And then I looked over and I saw a bunch of colors and it's slow-moing, and I'm like, oh, cool, I don't know what this is. And then I heard Peter talking. I was like, that's Jerry Lowenthal's voice. That's Peter Parker. This is Spider-Man 2. And I just started like, oh my God, Spider-Man 2. Oh my God, Spider-Man 2. And my friend Tyler's next to me just like, Spider-Man 2.
I too was at work. And I was like, I did not think we were going to get an announcement for anything Spider-Man. I thought we were too far out from the Spider-Man sequel to touch that.
My prediction was either God of War 2 or Spider-Man 2. And technically I was wrong entirely because this isn't technically Spider-Man 2. But it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'll take it.
But, like, I glanced, I got up to, like, refill somebody's drink at work, and I just kind of glanced down at my phone, and I just see Spider-Man trailer in the chat, and I, like, sprinted across the bar. I was like, beer, shot, beer, shot, and, like, ran back to my seat and, like, started the stream over. But yeah, this looks really fun. I think that there's going to be a lot to mine from the combat, getting to implement the venom blasts and the invisibility and everything. I think it's interesting that just looking at the suit in the trailer, it looks like they're going. It kind of looks like they're doing the same thing they did with Spider-Verse, where like Miles just kind of like graffitied over the suit, because the edges kind of look not as refined as they normally like on his comic book suit. And I love seeing the Spider-Verse movie just kind of bleed into other media now. But yeah, who and like what are your like requests for this, Travis? Like villain wise, character wise, bonus suits.
Yeah, I would love to see. I'd love to see the Prowler. Like I would love that to be the main thing. Maybe have like the big bad. I mean, I'm ripping straight from Spider-Verse, but like have it be the Prowler working under Wilson Fisk. Have Fisk be the end game boss. And then maybe in the post credits we see Norman like Green Goblining up for the first time. Maybe. But like I almost don't want to see Peter in any of it besides like the opening, just to like explain where he is. You know?
Yeah.
For whatever reason they come up with.
Yeah.
Whether he's gonna be in another game or the comic you mentioned, which would be really cool, right?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really neat thing.
I would be surprised if like because these are supposed to, like, the Avengers game and the Spider-Man game are technically in the same universe. Technically speaking, they share continuity. So it would not be weird if like Inhumans and shit are a thing, like we're gonna get into later with Kamala Khan, and Captain Marvel, and obviously that means that the Kree are out there. So it wouldn't be too weird for Spider-Man to be doing dimension hopping, but like I don't know how you come back to the Spider-Man sequel and Spider-Geddon be canon.
That's true.
Unless there's like the normal comic book, like, okay, we all met different versions of each other and because something, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, I don't remember it now, kind of shit. So like maybe that's the explanation as to why Peter does not come back. And it's like, Miles, I met another you and like 15 me's. Gwen Stacy's a spider person. Doc Ock is one, and his suit is sexy as hell.
He would say that too.
Yeah. He's like, that shit's crisp.
Crispy.
It is.
I was just about to say it, you fucker. Stealing my thunder.
I hate the fact that anytime somebody says crispy, that my brain, like, I go full lizard brain, and just the only thing I can see in my mind's eye is just that image of Harvey Dent, but he's just completely burnt.
Yeah.
And it's just crispy. Like,
see, I've been watching a lot of Joshua Weissman. He's a cooking YouTuber, and anytime you're gonna fry that till it's crispy.
Ew.
oh man. So suit wise, are there any requests you have?
I love the spray paint aesthetic. I don't know that it works with this version of Miles because we haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't
that.
seen him doing like the street art, yeah.
But just like the classic black with the red trim, I love that suit so much.
I don't think Miles has really had any like
Suit altercations.
Yeah, he's it's not like Peter who's like had. Like, not even counting like spider armors and stuff. Like.
Yeah.
Cool stuff like that. I saw one like Photoshop somebody did where it was like, I can't remember which spider armor mark it was, but it was kind of a hybridization of the silver one that he wore in the comics to fight Hammerhead for the first time, mixed with like the gold glowing aesthetic of the bulletproof armor that has like the really big spider and like the slanty eyes and the collar on it. I'd love to see that. I'm pretty sure in the last game, the version of the big time suit they used was the version with the green, so they could maybe do the big time suit in orange.
Yeah, I think you're right.
because I know there's another version of the big time suit that has the orange
Yeah.
symbol and eyes. Just so they're different and then mix up the suits. Yeah, very, very excited. I am absolutely hyped for this. Lexi, same question to you. Any like villain or suit appearances you want to see?
Like you said, there's not really much with the suits. I love the spray paint thing. Like, I would stick with that. Villains. I want to see Green Goblin. I want to see Fisk again. Maybe Black Cat. But, like, I know they already did that, but I just want to see if, like, Miles gets a taste of her
That would
craziness.
be fun. That would be really fun for Felicia to show up and for him to be like, "Oh, I've heard
What
of
do I
you."
do?
Yeah,
I don't know how to handle this happening right
Yeah.
now.
It's like they just show me. Did you tell him he had a kid, you asshole? Like
And then you fake died.
twice. Like, oh, that's one of my favorite suits in the game. Is the one you unlock in the Black Cat missions in the game, the dark suit. I played so much of the game in that outfit, and I accidentally created like a weird headcanon that I became super into. Is that because I just couldn't stop wearing that suit? It happened to be the one I was wearing whenever you show up to save Miles from the bullies. And it was like, oh, like this like could be like a weird explanation as to why Miles made his suit black and red. And like accidentally like gave it a funny explanation. But regardless, very excited for this. As everybody should be. Travis, do you want to take lead on the Avengers game?
Sure. I'm getting an ad for the Spider-Man Miles Morales trailer on this article. I guess they tweeted out some pictures of Kamala Khan's room in the Avengers game coming out. I don't remember when. I think sometime this year.
Either this year or next year. I'm sure the release date's in this article somewhere.
And it is just like, and they mentioned this when they revealed her as a character, that she's a fangirl, and after the time skip she has powers, and we see her get those powers during A-Day. See a lot of Iron Man posters, there's some Hulk and Captain America pillows, there's a Captain Marvel poster.
Which I love the look they went with for Carol.
Yes.
Like it's a really nice hybridization of her look in the movie with like the Endgame hair. Mm-hmm. Like that is exactly what I want to see for Carol Danvers at all times.
And then just the usual stuff of the other five just floating around the room,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's neat. I don't know that it's like, there's all that much to talk about, other than like, she really likes Captain Marvel.
Well, that and like the confirmations here of like who all is like kicking around in this universe, which I think that's going to be one of the most insightful things about it, is that if Captain Marvel's running around, then that strongly implies all of the characters that are in her lexicon. And how that all bleeds out, but yeah, it's a brief story, but one that the one that excites me. It's little stuff like that, Plus that probably means like the royal family with the Inhumans is out there. Also, I'm pretty sure the lights around her room are meant to look like the Infinity Stones.
Possibly. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it looks like they have all the Infinity Stones represented there. But
Can I be a casual real quick?
Yes.
Who is that?
Okay, so Kamala Khan, she, after Carol Danvers dropped the name Ms. Marvel and became Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, who is an Inhuman, took up the name Ms. Marvel. And like her powers, she's basically Mr. Fantastic but with super strength. on top of it.
Which you can like not just extend but also enlarge.
Yeah.
Like you guys won't understand this, but the best way to describe it is Gear 3 Luffy. And neither of you watch One Piece.
No.
So that doesn't.
Levi loved that reference. Levi loved that reference.
He didn't
Levi
love it
is-
because I didn't say Gear 3rd. I said Gear 3.
Oh. So he fucking casualed you on that one as well.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this. I love Kamala Khan. She's the one. Kamala Khan is the one who like makes a big fuss about shipping Captain Marvel and Spider-Man, which is just like the funniest ship in Marvel to me, and I don't know why. Especially because in the comics they dated for like a hot minute, and Carol Danvers was like, "I can't stand you." Like it took her like a week or two to just be like, "Why are you like this?" with Peter.
He just seems so like small boy for her. I don't know.
That's why I love that little interaction they have in Endgame so much.
Yeah.
Where it's not like we're like obviously Peter Parker's probably not even legal at this point in the MCU. So that aside, there's this kind of that moment of I mean if you don't count the blip.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because in Far From Home, he's like 17 or 16.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's 17. He's on the cusp of being legal. But like just an interaction of hi, whenever he's like holding the gauntlet.
Yeah.
And you know, the hi Peter Parker. Where I was like, this is exactly their chemistry in the comics. But the funniest ship in all of Marvel cannot happen because they don't want Carol to be a pedophile.
Good, because I don't like it.
But I just think that's hilarious. And I took up playing Marvel Strike Force recently.
Yeah.
Which is basically the Marvel version of Galaxy of Heroes. And like in the load screens they have like tips and also like little lore nuggets. And they constantly like talk about like Kamala Khan's like, oh, it's a huge fangirl of all the superheroes and she really ships Captain Marvel and Spider-Man. And it makes me happy that is slowly becoming public knowledge that ship exists. But anyway, moving right along, in a story that Travis called from the moment we saw the first version of this story a few months ago, Tennet and Wonder Woman 1984 both get new release dates. Tennet, this is from Variety. Tennet, Christopher Nolan's highly anticipated espionage thriller, has been pushed back its theatrical debut by 2 weeks, ending months of speculation about whether or not the $200 million tentpole would hold on to its mid-July release date. The Warner Brothers film, the Robert Pattinson and John David Washington, we all know that bit. Kind of the spiritual successor to Inception. I'm trying to get to the bit about Wonder Woman here.
I feel like the date was October 2nd.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984, follow up to 2017's Wonder Woman. Trying to get to it. Yeah, so originally Wonder Woman was supposed to come out at the end of August?
It was July 5th, or June 5th, and then August 12th.
Yeah.
I think. I'm just throwing a day out in August, but that sounds
I think
right.
you're right, though.
And then, I got moved again to... Funny story, all of our like promotional stuff at Walmart for Wonder Woman 84 still says June 5th because we got it in months in advance. But it's all
the same way all the Birds of Prey Blu-rays all still say Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn and not just Harley Quinn Birds of Prey.
Yeah. They're doing great work over at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I knew they were gonna have to move this. I wouldn't be surprised if Tenet gets moved again.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, because around where we are, we're rural enough that places are starting to reopen.
Yeah.
And people who should still be taking this semi-seriously are not.
Yeah.
But out in your big money makers like Los Angeles, New York.
Yeah. L.A.
L.A.,
Or
Chicago.
You said Los Angeles.
Well,
San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle.
All the big uns are still either having massive protests or still in lockdown. No one's going to see anything right now.
And those
Even if
theaters have
it's-
said we're ready to reopen. We just have nothing to show you.
Yeah, because everything, all production on all movies went into
Yeah.
lockdown. So like, they're not going to drive traffic by doing reruns of movies, and they have nothing new to show, and no one's going to go anyway when they open. So it's this kind of just cyclical loop of bad times for the theater industry.
Well, and that's the other thing. And I saw Collider's Jeff Snyder tweeting about how, there's no version of reopening the movie theaters that does not start rough.
Yeah.
And that, like, Warner Brothers is kind of using Chris Nolan and Tenet as a meat shield. Like, by the time Wonder Woman's ready to go, things will be, for the most part, probably up and running.
Yeah, like
That's assuming there isn't a second wave that just restarts us completely.
yeah, which like it's coming.
It's just coming, which is most likely going to happen. So I wouldn't be shocked if we're looking at a situation where Wonder Woman gets pushed back again, and Tenet ends up miraculously being Christopher Nolan's first flop. Financially.
But just by happenstance.
Just by happenstance.
Yeah.
They're putting Nolan out there as a meat shield, which is unfortunate because as much as I like to rag on him,
he makes good movies.
He makes good movies, and every time, both Travis and Lexi, you could both attest to this. Every time that a Tenet trailer is attached to something any of us have seen, I just get obnoxiously giddy because it looks so goddamn good and interesting.
It does look good. It's unfortunate that I have to wait till it's on like DVD or Blu-ray to watch it on a coach bus, because that's how I watch every Nolan movie for the first time, with the exception of the Batman trilogy, is on a coach bus on a really long drive, probably from somewhere in the South.
Yeah.
So I watched Inception and Interstellar for the first time.
I'm not gonna allow that to happen because I'm putting my foot down. We are reviewing Tenet on this show.
We are? Okay.
We absolutely are.
You better find some advanced copy of it and get me on a coach bus.
I gotta somehow get a copy of Tenet
Yeah.
on DVD and rent a coach bus, and we'll just like drive towards Connor.
Just like loop there, go around to get Connor, and then loop down to Florida and back.
I feel like that's way more time than we need to watch all of Tenet.
You're right, it is way more time, but like it needs to be all the way down to the bottom south coast of the country and then back up, as is tradition.
Yes. I can only imagine how weird it is because like Nolan is such a stickler for his movies, like requiring the cinematic experience. That like I'm sure if you were to tell Christopher Nolan that you've only ever watched his movies on a screen like yay big,
Falling in and out of consciousness.
falling in and out of consciousness
at like 2 a.m.
with speakers that have been blown out that are, it's just like to infiltrate somebody's dreams, spinning top. That Nolan would have a meltdown.
Probably.
The man won't let people stream it to their like 80-inch TVs, and you're again little 3-inch screen.
While we're all bullshitting about other things and like making fun of the movie too.
Yeah. I remember I think it was a bus trip for the show choir you and I were in, and that Lexi totally was in.
For sure.
Totally. Yes, I was in that.
They let her in without making her audition too. It was really weird.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I know.
It was the year that we did that goddamn Broadway show.
Yeah.
And wrestler like put on again a screen this big. Why are you making us watch a movie musical? Like why did you think putting on Hello Dolly is something that any of us can appreciate on a screen this big?
I like vividly remember that we had, I want to say, Family Guy Star Wars playing. Like someone brought that and it played for like half an hour, and then the first F-bomb dropped. And finally, either one of the parents or one of the teachers was like, no, we can't show them this.
Were there multiple buses for that trip?
It had to have been.
Because 10 out of 10, I did not experience. I would have remembered that.
wait a minute, hold on. Was this the trip? This might have been the trip. No, wait, you weren't there. That was Chicago, where a wrestler took a full header into the window of the bus and, like, spider-webbed it.
She what?
Whoa!
She stood up. We were at a toll booth. I know you weren't there because I just remember this was the Chicago trip. So it would have been, I was in 8th grade. We stopped at a toll booth and the bus, like, it stopped and she stood up for a second, I think to change the movie that was playing. And then the bus, like, jerked forward for a second and she just flew into the windshield.
That's why she's the way that she is.
That is so...
That's why she was so weird whenever we got her when we came up.
That is awful. Oh my god! The image I have in my head looks like a cartoon, and that's why I keep laughing. It is just this.
You know when they throw Muppets, and the Muppets, the way that Muppets look when they get thrown. That's what I'm picturing in my head right now. Poor Miss Wrestler. I love her.
I can't stress enough. She broke, like, not like full on shattered, but she spider webbed the windshield of a coach bus.
We're just like borderline bulletproof.
Yeah, like it was impressive. Anyway.
Oh man. Well, speaking of head trauma, Zack Snyder was talking on social media again.
Lord help us all.
Trav, I'm gonna let you take point on this.
Yeah.
I'll let you take point on this because I'm gonna fly into I think the blind rage you're gonna fly into talking about this.
So I vividly remember back during the lead up to Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
And we saw in the trailer the Robin suit.
Yeah.
Right.
And for those of you who have made a point of not remembering that movie, something I cannot necessarily blame you for, in Ben Affleck's Batcave, there is what used to be his Robin suit, holding his bow staff, but it wasn't a bow staff, it was a fucking war glaive, because everybody on Team Batman must have been psychopathic murderers. And on the bat suit, there was graffiti that I even remember what it said. It was like ha 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 ha.
It was there was some ha 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 ha's, and it's like it's funny, or it's like get the joke or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It's right in front of me. Ha ha ha! Joke's on you, Batman.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, implying that the Joker killed a Robin.
And if you know, general Batman knowledge, you know that the Joker in the comics has killed a Robin. He's killed Jason Todd. But I do remember in the lead up to this film, screenshots of a headstone for Dick Grayson floating around, and everyone going, "Oh my God, they killed Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is dead in this universe."
Off screen.
And then, that leak hit mainstream and everyone went, "That's fucking stupid. This is dumb. There's no way this is real. And if it is, this movie's going to be even worse than we thought." And then the movie never addresses it. It just shows the suit.
And so there's the dead Robin suit, and then there's the Dick Grayson headstone. But the thing with the Dick Grayson headstone is that it's in one of Bruce's night terrors.
Was it? Was it actually in the movie?
It's in the movie, and it's fleeting. But it's in the nightmare he has where he's taking the flowers to the mausoleum, and then, like, that demon that looks like a man-bat flies out of Martha Wayne's tomb. Little casket thing in the mausoleum. So when I saw that, I mean, again, it's one of those things with the DCEU that, like, you don't know what to take at face value.
Yeah.
Because, like, normally, the conventional wisdom of the lore would dictate that a Joker suit or a Robin suit that's been defaced by the Joker, ha ha ha, joke's on you, Batman's become unhinged, he must have killed Jason. There's also the fact that at that time there were rumors, and then not too long after Suicide Squad came out, the official announcement of a Nightwing movie.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, so then I guess it was Jason. and the fact that there's a Dick Grayson headstone in one of Bruce's night terrors would like
Is just like, I'm terrified of losing Dick.
of losing even more people that I love. Flash forward to today.
I just thought it'd be cool to kill off Dick Grayson. You know, no one ever really talks about him. And I just thought, what the fuck were you thinking? He's like,
aside from Batman himself,
more
and the
people
Joker,
like him than Bruce. Like,
you're not entirely wrong either.
you know, between like Teen Titans and like in every iteration of Batman where he's Nightwing, he's just this charismatic, like, you know,
Nightwing is more likable than Bruce Wayne.
yeah, well, yeah, just inherently, but also just the like the person he plays as Robin, you know, he's a good Robin.
Yeah.
And then when he's Nightwing and he's the angel on Bruce's shoulder, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, he is inherently likable. And
marketable as fuck.
exactly. Why? Who, like, I made my, you know, bit about Jimmy Olsen before.
Yeah.
Where, like,
He was
No one ever-
brutally murdered by terrorists.
yeah. And, like, he raised like a kind of point that, like, no one ever really thinks of Jimmy Olsen. You're right. You know who did Jimmy Olsen proud? Supergirl, where he's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist and then becomes Guardian.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking matters. It's awesome. I love Jimmy in that show. And, like, oh, yeah, I just thought it'd be cool if he was a CIA operative. And then he died. And he had no real relation to Clark Kent at all. Just his best friend. You know?
Just,
Like, it
just
doesn't,
Clark's like best non-superhero
Superhero.
friend.
but fuck him. You know, it's literally the same thing, only this guy is an actual superhero.
Yeah, again, an incredibly popular and marketable one. At that, I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know, again, it just adds to like how incoherent it is. Like going back to the Warglaive. Like I understand the whole mentality of, oh, Batman went crazy when whatever Robin died, and that's when he started taking lives. But like, how was Robin not just gruesomely beheading people?
I made this
with
joke
that
in our
thing?
group chat when you sent the story, and that like Batman was only the judge and jury, and then he had Robin there as an executioner at 10 years old, just beheading criminals.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I see the scene in Prisoner of Azkaban when they like in that really hammy way, like that executioner
yeah.
like brings up like the axe that's like comically way too
kill
big to
Buckbeak.
behead Buckbeak, and like that is exactly what I'm envisioning is just like on a Gotham rooftop, like almost like Batman the animated series when the lightning strike happens just long enough for
Yeah.
you to see Batman, just long enough to see like again like 10-year-old Dick Grayson like in the Speedo and the garters and the slippers with this giant Warglaive about to behead motherfucking Condiment King. Like I don't get it. Like why? And then granted, like based on the size of the suit, like clearly like maybe Dick was like 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, like he was older.
Like because it's a stocky suit, you know.
Well, that's like in Titans, because I love to bring this shit up. Season 3 hasn't even started filming yet, thank God. I have some time to breathe. They
I
have
have time to mentally prepare to watch it.
Yeah, they had the kid that plays Jason Todd like take over a DC Universe's thing for a bit, and he
Yeah.
said like, I don't know when filming's gonna start, because it hasn't yet now with COVID. You know,
Dude, what if Titans gets canceled because of HBO Max?
that would be fine.
You're not getting out that easy.
I know I'm not. I know I'm not. That's like I would be so happy, but I know it won't happen. So
Listen, there's going to be two things that round out the shittiness of 2020. Trump is going to get reelected, and there's going to be a trailer for Titans Season 3.
that shows like Trigon coming back wearing the Slade mask, and then Dawn is gonna show up as a fucking zombie. I don't fucking know.
Someone will be wearing a shirt that just says "fuck Batman."
Yeah,
but
in my point in
Yeah.
Titans, they age up Dick when I think Bruce picks him up when he's like 12 or 13 to justify the fact that he's like an angsty motherfucker that just wants to kill people.
yeah.
And that Bruce like has to calm him down, which is not how that works. and then it doesn't work, obviously. But then it did work, but it doesn't, but it did. Titans is like the TV equivalent of Zack Snyder's movies, where like it's just so many conflicting messages.
Yeah. And just like the hilarious brutality.
Yeah, like there's no reason for Dick to be stabbing someone in the balls. There's no reason that happens. That's a thing that happens. In like
Really?
episode 2
Of season 1.
Yes. It's like he is brutal enough to make Hawk and Dove go, we don't want to associate with you anymore. Take the girl and get out.
Well, I just remember like that one clip that went viral in the fuck Batman scene where like the thing that I loved about like the lead up to Titans was that scene where it looks like Dick just indiscriminately starts shooting people.
Yeah,
in that alleyway.
He shoots up into the air to
scare them, and
then he like runs someone's face over broken glass. He runs someone else's face over a brick wall in the same fight.
Yeah,
he breaks somebody else's arm. Like it's dumb. While being an active detective of the Detroit police, anyway.
Yeah,
but it's the same principle, right? Like,
and that's the kind of brutality that is like only acceptable at like Red Hood has officially joined the Bat family, and at least he's not murdering people anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say like Red Hood. That's some Red Hood shit. Like either right when he's picked up, like trying to prove a point in Gotham, or right after he's calmed down.
Yeah, well, like, he's not a peaceful vigilante quite yet. He's like, I'm not gonna kill you.
Or it's Arsenal in the trucker hat. That's my favorite version of Roy Harper, by the way. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's just like him running around with Red Hood in a fucking trucker hat.
That is the comics are weird and I love them. But yeah, Dick Grayson died off screen. And that's a thing.
And we're upset.
I don't even think I have it in me to be upset anymore with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, like
we're numb.
We're numb to it. It's exactly right. Thank you. We're just numb to it.
I'm not numb to it. I can't be. Like, I can't wait for the Snyder Cut. I can't wait to rip it apart.
There's got to be something like that is going to infuriate people in there. Like, there's no way there isn't some, like, horrifying breach of character in the Snyder Cut.
Batman shoots, like, goes and shoots up a kindergarten school, like...
It's like one of the thugs that he murdered in a BVS, like in the warehouse, where he just like he pulls up to like a preschool in the Batmobile and just like, I'm here to finish the job. Just wiping out this poor man's whole entire bloodline. Yep. Speaking of Batman.
Oh my god, I forgot about this story. Speaking of Batman. You want it? You want me to take it?
Yeah, you got this one. This is what you're. I think you are. I think we're like almost equally excited. I think you hedge me out just a little bit.
I love the Arkham games so much, and we've been talking about rumors of a new Arkham game for feels like the past year.
Honestly,
right?
Yeah.
Just like because
I mean the rumors started basically the day Arkham Knight came out.
Yeah, but. Warner Brothers Montreal put out some cryptic images a while back, and people were like, oh, they're making a new game, and it's going to have the Court of Owls. Some name drops came out. Some other leaks happened this past week. Right before the PS5 stream, we got a screenshot from what appears to be a new Batman game. It's the bat symbol, it says Capture the Night, and it has the PS5 and PS4 logos on the bottom of the screen. Along with like the DC Warner Brothers stuff on the other corner. The aesthetic of this reminds me a lot of Arkham Origins.
Yes.
Which makes sense because Warner Brothers Montreal made Arkham Origins. And I'm sad we didn't see it during the stream.
Yeah.
I hope we see it soon, right? Because like all the stories are like it's coming and it's going to be soon. Like you're going to see this trailer soon. And knowing our luck, it's going to be like tonight at like 11:15 p.m. or tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m.
Yeah. The trailer will drop at the same time as this episode.
Yes.
Well, and this is a story I actually forgot to add now that we're talking about it. DC Universe announced that DC Dome thing where it's going to be like a live stream where they're going to be announcing a bunch of DC movies, shows, and games and shit.
I didn't see that.
And I'm pretty sure it's either later this month or early in July. So
it's
that's probably what this is the lead up. This I would not be surprised if this is their big finish.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And again, just like a game featuring the Bat family fighting the Court of Owls, man. I need it.
Chef's keys.
I also
I would love.
I'm gonna nitpick on this symbol when you're done saying what you're gonna say.
I have some thoughts on what I think I know what you might be saying, but I had my recent exposure to the Assassin's Creed portion of the franchise that I didn't play. The only thing I liked about Odyssey was the cult system and hunting down members of the Cult of Cosmos using clues you find in the world to hunt down, because like they all, when you meet them all, they're all wearing masks, right?
Yeah.
And then like you raid this camp and you get this thing and it's like, oh, this leader over here is actually a member of the cult, and you go down and hunt them down. I would love that kind of system in a Batman game where you're arresting members of the Court of Owls.
That would be interesting.
I would really enjoy that.
And if you're playing as multiple members of the Bat fam, like, you know, that would
Just
just like
like-
dictate your tactics.
Yeah,
you know?
like maybe if you're Dick, you're like somersaulting your way in and doing, you know.
more stealth oriented, you know, with Bruce. It's like the shock and awe tactics, and Jason just goes in, you know.
Guns a-blazing.
Yeah, guns blazing, shoot first, shoot second, shoot third, and after everybody's dead, try to ask a question or two.
What do you have to say about this bat symbol?
So, again, this is the one thing I'm never not going to nitpick. Like, what Batman and
What
Spider-Man...
is it, the ears?
It's not the ears, it's the fact that it's the Batman Beyond symbol, but black.
Oh.
And it's the arc of the wings. Like, just bring the wings down a little bit. You got the hush symbol.
wait a minute. Jared, wait a minute. What if it's
No
what if it's
fucking
Batman
way.
Arkham Beyond? Like, what if?
No, I would lose my shit. I would be stunned. You said that, and I was like, no way.
But what if? Like, that might be my dream game. Actually, I lied. Scratch the Court of Owls. I want Batman Beyond. But
Or it's
Arkham.
both, and it's like a weird cyberpunk cult.
Oh, please.
Well, we can't put this on YouTube now.
No,
Not after those noises.
I need it.
Ew.
Blame him. He said it.
I don't know. I like it. I also like the tagline of "Capture the Night."
Yeah. I love how they always play around with the.
Yeah, the little play on words there. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I really want to. I hope this ends up being real. And time will tell with that. I also, again, like, these just one of those like weird, like, I want to understand like the continuity of like where this would fit into the Arkhamverse, or if it would just be a soft reboot. Or, you know, it's DC, so, you know,
Both.
pick your multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, rounding out our conversation here, we're going to talk about the PS5 announcements. So from what I understand, we do have an official price, and it's
Oh.
clocking in at $700. And
700.
yeah,
Where.
I don't believe it's in this article, but I believe
What's your source?
Yeah. Actually.
I saw most of the trades reporting on it that it was like the
Yeah, well, there was a leak on Amazon. So
there was I saw an Amazon leak, and
it
I'm
was a
pretty sure
2 terabyte model that had the CD drive. We'll get into all that in a second. Was like 760 pounds,
yeah.
I think, which rounds up to about $800. And I think it's going to vary based on hard drive size and whether or not it has the CD drive.
Yeah. So actually, since you watched the whole stream, do you want to take point on this?
Sure.
Because you'd be able
Yeah.
to run down better than I would.
So, I expected the
You're doing
Xbox.
so much heavy lifting on this episode. I appreciate it.
I got back in the gym today, so you know we're ready for this.
Shut up.
Got him.
I rolled my eyes so hard.
I felt you roll your eyes. I can't see you, but
Just
I'm not sorry.
I know
tell the
you're
people
not.
what they need to know.
Talk about the Wi-Fi router.
I was going to make that joke, but
I'm
fuck you.
sorry.
It's
The,
fine.
the disgust on your face, and I'm sure the disgust on her face is just like, it's fueling me right now. I need to take it all in.
Her face looks exactly like what you think it
Yep.
does.
Okay, good.
Like the eyelids are a little bit lowered,
Yep,
and the
yeah.
brows are just
Yep. Yeah.
very very disappointed aunt. Like it's not. That's how hard you fucked up. That like even your aunt is disappointed. It's like, come on, man.
We were rooting for you.
Come on!
So, hardware-wise, we are getting 2 versions, one with a disc drive and one that is all digital. So you will only be able to buy games off the PlayStation Store, which I primarily do
Whoa.
anyway. So, if it's cheaper. Because of the hard drive size on that leak from Amazon,
Yeah.
it is likely that they're making models with different size hard drives. And the rumor in, the tech sphere is that they're going to have a 1, a 2, and a 3 terabyte. Ish.
Whoa.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if a 1 terabyte system that doesn't have a disk drive is around 550 to 600.
So which one's going to be the more expensive one, the disc drive one or the digital one?
It's just more hardware. So
That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah, like it's kind of like I think they make a diskless Xbox right now, right? For the 1.
I don't think so.
Nope. I don't think.
No, the Xbox One S was the.
That or they pitched the idea and everyone was like, "That's stupid," even though I'd probably buy it. As someone who doesn't own an Xbox, but they showed off the hardware. It looks like a router from 2008, and I kind of love it. You can lay it on its side, even though because they always show it, on a stand, standing up.
Yeah.
And then, unlike the Xbox stream that had like 6 trailers, this stream was an hour and change long. Like it was like every trailer, I was like, okay, now they're gonna wrap. No, they're not gonna wrap up. They're still going.
There's like a Ratchet and Clank announced.
Yeah, they opened on Spider-Man. Some of the big ones, they had Ratchet and Clank sequel with the dimension hopping. They announced a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which I own and played the first hour and then never finished, so I need to go back and play that. Resident Evil 8 is a big one that they announced. I'm trying to think. There's some other. Oh my god, they're it's not called Little Big Planet 4. It's like Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
But I'm buying that day of I love Little Big Planet so much.
I play whenever Logan and I got a PlayStation 3 for Christmas 1,000 years ago. We I think Little Big Planet came in the bundle, and we played the shit out of that.
It's just so fun.
It's just so fun and wholesome.
I've never played it.
You need to.
Oh my god, Alexis, it is right up your alley.
It's so good. I remember because I was the perfect age to find it. I was 14.
Yeah.
Really into Call of Duty. I can't play kids shit. I can't play kids games. And then it was the only thing on my shelf. We borrowed it from a friend, and it was the only thing on my shelf I hadn't played. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna give this a try because I'm bored as shit.
Yeah.
At Call of Duty, it made me mad, and I put it in, and just the rest of my weekend.
It's an amazing palate cleanser game. Especially if most of what you're playing are games like Call of Duty that are very aggressive and very competitive, in the same way that I know a lot of people, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to go play Death Stranding, and now that this has sucked my soul, now I'm going to go play Animal Crossing. And that very catapulting between two very different games to kind of bring you back down.
We got a new Square Enix title called Project Athia. I don't know what that's about, but it looks very Final Fantasy-esque, and I'm kind of into it. New Gran Turismo for the racing people. Hitman 3. Trying to think. I know I'm forgetting stuff.
A new GTA 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GTA 5, the 5th one.
As an avid GTA 5 player,
I saw a
I'm
thing.
sick.
I'm over it. I saw a thing that was trilogies then, and it was GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
And then it was trilogies now, and it's PS5 on the
PS5.
It's GTA 5
Try
on
again.
GTA 5 on the PS3, GTA 5 on the PS4, GTA 5 on the PS5.
Here's what I really want to see Rockstar really swing for the fence. I want to see them make up for how long they've taken to make a GTA 6. and I want to see it, like, especially because of like all the weird. As somebody who's only started playing this year during quarantine, I think that if they completely leaned into the weird futuristic technology they added to GTA 5, where there's like laser blasters and like flying cars and speeder bikes, and there's one gun that's basically like the shotguns from Minority Report. And then if they completely leaned into it, and it was like a futuristic setting, and it was like essentially like Grand Theft Auto Coruscant. Like just go all the way in, and it'd be like super futuristic and space aged.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Demon Souls remake or remaster, that's insane. I'm not a big Soulsborne player, but a lot of my friends are, and they are like, I remember I was in line at Subway when that trailer came up, and my friend who's a big Soulsborne player was like, holy shit. Said Ratchet and Clank, Demon Souls, I said Project Athia, Sackboy Big Adventure, I'm so excited. That might have been all the big ones. Resident Evil 8.
Was Project Athia, was that the horror game? Like the space horror game?
That was Returnal.
Returnal
Is what it's called.
That one
also
looks interesting.
Yeah, that looks
I don't
neat.
play horror games. I might play that.
I mean, like, it looks good. It looks like a Live, Die, Repeat, but
Yeah.
horror inspired. So, again, I'm like you. I'm not big into horror games, but Stray looks adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these are like the classic, like, we're launching a new system with new tech, and we're gonna like have games that are specific to that new tech, kind of like how when the PS4 came out, a lot of the games like really hardcore utilized the touchpad
Yeah.
as a feature, and then no one gave a shit after that because it's just the select button,
It's just a select.
and that's fine. That's all it needs to be. But yeah, I'm so excited.
So hardware wise, I saw in that one spread that they posted, there was like the headphones, a controller. There's all kinds of fun stuff happening with it. Hold on, let me pull that up.
Yeah, they're boasting some new audio system in the games. It's like 3D audio.
Yeah, there's that. There's like the weird like. Okay, so here's the other thing. I don't know like which one this applies to. It's probably the disc version, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards the disc version. It's a 4K
Yeah,
DVD player as well, and I
Yeah,
saw like
that's-
one of them has like a remote control, like a TV remote.
Yeah, I mean that probably comes with both of them.
Yeah, which blew my mind because I'm like the last time I remember a gaming console having a TV remote was back when, and I'm looking over at my like OG Xbox sitting under the TV over there. It was like back when like they first were like, okay, we're going to. They didn't let you use the Xbox controller as a remote for a DVD player, so you had to get like an attachment to it that would be a remote sensor that you had to plug into one of the controller ports to have then a TV remote to use as a DVD player thing.
That's very Microsoft.
That is incredibly Microsoft of them. But I just remember, like, I just seeing the TV remote with the PlayStation 5, I was like...
There was one for the PS2, and I think there was one for the PS3 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't remember. I mean, granted, like I said,
Yeah.
I've not been a PlayStation guy for most of my life.
PlayStation has a bunch of weird gadgets that like no one ever uses and mostly only come out in Japan. But like, I remember seeing them in like magazines and shit as a kid. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. You're right. I mean, both will play 4K, but the disc drive is a Blu-ray 4K player.
Which instantly I was like, oh, okay, I see you.
It means I have to upgrade.
I'm on the fence. I want it really bad, but I'm on the fence about trading in my PS4.
I want to wait and see what backwards compatibility looks like.
That's my big thing. It's like, as somebody who isn't, even as somebody who doesn't even own that many PS4 games, doesn't own any, frankly, that would be, I think that's a huge selling point that Alexis, I think would be wise for you to wait on to see like how much of it, like, because if like you can sell if everything's backwards compatible, which I'm pretty sure is the case with the Xbox
Yeah, that's
series,
Xbox's
whatever
biggest
the
selling point
fuck it is.
for recently for the One was that like how many 360 games can you play
Yeah.
on the Xbox One? There are rumors that the PS5 is very backward, like back to like PS2. I don't know how true that is. They never confirmed how true that was. I'm on the fence for different reasons. Is it like on my shelf I have my PS2, my PS3, and my PS4, and I like having them, and I'd like my PS5 to join them, right?
Yeah, one big happy family.
Exactly. But I mean, money's money, so
Yeah. Well, there's also the fact that, like, give it a few years if you want to have that big happy family thing going on. Like, I'm sure after the PS5's out, give it a year or two, you'll probably be able to pick up a PS4 for like cheap, $100.
Yeah.
And we basically feel like you're robbing the joint by buying it. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope that there is there's part of me that's really hoping there's a Spider-Man version of the PlayStation once it comes out.
I think when Spider-Man 2, like actual Spider-Man 2 happens, they'll probably do that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But by then I'll have to already have a PlayStation
To play
5.
Miles
And,
Morales.
Yeah. And I'm not... I considered getting the Spider-Man PS3, but I was like, this is too close to the end of the generation for me to do this, and I'm not going to do it. Like, my brother owns a PS4. I will steal it from
Mooch off of him?
I'll mooch off of him and then get him Starbucks every time I steal the PlayStation from him to play Spider-Man, because I wasn't missing that game come
No.
hell or high water. And absolutely can't. Like, that's the reason, and I know I've made jokes about it, like, this is the final nail in the coffin for me. Like, I'm making the switch to PlayStation between a mix of all of you guys bullying me for so many
One
years.
of us.
One of us.
Yes, photoshopped the PlayStation 5 onto my head like a giant hat, like Doug Dimmadome. I'm joining the PS5 fam, or the PlayStation fam, that is. So this is really interesting stuff, and I saw a couple people make jokes that, like, the aesthetic design of the PlayStation 5, it looks like a generic futuristic console that you'd see in a movie in the best way possible.
Yeah.
That, like,
Well, like when the like all of the I lost my words. The like concept images were coming out on like, we have a leak and this is what the system looks like, and you're like, clearly that's not what it fucking looks like. Like, this is
Yeah.
one of those images, but just cleaned up. you
Yeah.
know? Like it actually looks good. So
very exciting
It's
stuff.
like router or fridge. Which one do you want?
I already have a fridge.
A mini fridge.
And also unrelated, but since it's coming out at the end of the year, we have the games like Star Wars Squadrons coming out soon, which
Yeah.
is going to be cross-platform, which is wild to me. So I'm very curious to see how the generation transition games, in the same way that we had that with like Black Flag and Unity and those games that were like on both, or Unity wasn't on both,
Yeah.
but like Black Flag that ended up being this transitional thing. I'm very curious as to how that plays out. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all that. In games like Squadrons and games like, did they specify whether or not Miles Morales was going to be PS5 only? Or
I
if
think
was
it
gonna...
is.
Okay, that
I'm
would
pretty
make
sure
sense.
it is. There were some, I don't remember which ones that were. I think everything they showed in the live stream was exclusively PS. Not like exclusively, but like it's going to be on only the PS5 generation.
Yeah.
So far, the only game I know that's going to be on both is Valhalla. Assassin's
That
Creed.
makes sense, yeah.
Because it's coming out on both generations for Xbox. I imagine they'll be doing the same for PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then whatever, like NBA and Madden and shit will be on both.
Yeah.
And then, other games they announced for the end of the year will probably be PS4 and PS5. Like, if they announce a Batman game for the holiday season.
Yeah. Or like, I got to rewatch the Squadrons trailer. Because maybe that'll be one that's on
Yeah,
both as well. I'm
that's
not sure
true.
yet, but very excited. Very excited to talk about Squadrons later this week, and have my own very nitpicky complaint. Lexi, your final thoughts on PS5?
I am so excited. I need to know about what to do with my PS4. I'm excited to play the Miles game.
Are you excited to play more
And-
GTA 5 on your PS5?
Oh, yes, of course. You know it.
Listen, I'm just mad that she gets, like, I don't know if you saw what Rockstar posted, and she sent it to me.
Oh, the like how much you? Yeah, they said it in
Like,
the stream too.
They're just, if you play
Every month until the release, you get
one-
$1 million
that pisses me off so much.
for PlayStation members.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so happy.
especially
so
if they
fuck
let
you guys.
if they let you transfer your shit
Yeah.
over.
That's the plan.
Like,
Yep.
if people just save up, that is gonna, like, I can't imagine how that's not gonna break the in-game economy, like, in a good way.
Listen, I've been playing that game since like 2013, 2014. I play all the time with Billy
Yeah,
and Ariane.
shout outs.
Shout outs. Not as much anymore, but when I did, we were just constantly raking in the cash, constantly trying to buy stuff, all the new things that were coming out, the businesses and the cars and whatever. And we were saving up for a very long time to get the speeder bike thing. And we finally got it. And now we don't play because there's not much else to do. Like, we have everything.
Yeah,
Everything. And I have about 2 million saved on there already. So I'm just kind of bored.
yeah. I'm waiting for them to, like, add some more stuff or, like, find new modes, because I'm kind of, like I said, like, I spent that one night just playing the bounty hunting
Yeah, but
stuff.
you just bought it. I've been
Yeah.
playing it for the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I
straight.
can only imagine your boredom, because, like, I've only had it for a few months, and I'm kind of getting to the point where, like, I'm just going to put this on and just engage in mindless violence and then
Yeah.
go to bed. Like, like it's an excuse for me to put on a podcast in the background, basically. But yeah, that is all we have for you guys this week. We're clocking in at just over an hour. Alexis, where can the lovely people find you?
At Acapella98 on Instagram and LexiLion98 on Twitter.
That they can. Travis, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political. Jared,
Yes.
where?
They can find me.
Where?
They can find me perched on a mountain screaming into the void. No, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552.
On the coast of a lake, screaming into the water.
Yeah. Angry at the fish. You can also find the Nerd Academy podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can also find our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can chuck in $1 to our Patreon and help us keep the lights on around these parts. Speaking of our Patreon, thank you to our $10 patrons, the Wassel with...
You were so close. You were this close.
Wassel
You were
Wizard?
so close.
The Wassel
So
Wizard.
close.
The Wazzle Wizard.
To Matthew Squire and Cason Royce Brio. It's not his name. It's Scott. Michael Stanley's middle name is Royce.
Wow. I'm so sorry, Kason. I'm so sorry, Matt.
That was funny.
I'm so sorry, world.
To the Waffle Wizard and Kason Breon. And Jared Bachman Stubbs.
Yeah. Oh God, I bet
Jared
that
Sububs.
Bachman Stubbs and Ryan Spubs. That we can put on our Patreon at the $10 tier. Those YouTube poops.
Which I don't
I'm not
think
making
exists.
people pay for that.
It's right up there with getting Patreon access to our performance of Godspell, where I fall on stage on my face, and Spencer says all your wrongs will be undressed. Again, just pay for the fuckery, and we will extort you. We will make you pay to see us be bad at what we do. That's how we roll here. It's like Trump University, only you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
We're just a bunch of
It's
memes.
not.
It's fine.
It's not stealing if you know.
It's not stealing if you know. Whenever
The Nerd Academy podcast. It's not stealing if you know.
like you have the Latin et denium thing around it, and it's just in the same way that the Schmodown has the shirts that say Movie Trivia Schmodown Patron on it. It just says the Nerd Academy podcast Patron. It's not stealing if you know. Thank you guys so much for listening, and class dismissed. Your homework is to chuck a cup.